This is your moment, this is your time to do what you've always wanted with your life. This is the end of everything you knew and the beginning of something true. So take hold if you want it, don't let go if you want it, believe if you want it, succeed if you want it, hold on if you want it, 'cause you know that you want it, you know you want it, you know you want to go. Taking ground, don't wanna look back with any regrets. It's now or never. So take hold if you want it, don't let go if you want it, believe if you want it, succeed if you want it, hold on if you want it, 'cause you know that you want it, you know you want it, you know you want to go.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jake Elliott here, voice of the Langley Rams. As we hit the top of the hour, just want to give everybody an update here for the BCFC TELUS Game of the Week. We're a little bit delayed here from McLeod Athletic Park. It'll be a 4:15 kickoff. The stream is up and running. Stick with us. We'll kick it off here from McLeod in about 14 minutes from now. BCFC TELUS Game of the Week. Langley Rams, VI Raiders coming up in about 15 minutes. Stick around.
Introducing the Brown starting offense. Number 2, Terrell Jones. Number 9, Alex Trent. Number 11, Trey Jones. Number 22, Karo Hassan. Number 24, Tato Piero Area. Cole Darren. Number 51, Ross Davey. Number 52, Landon Summers. Number 55, Zach Rowan. Number 66, Nicholas Lajergis. Number 75, Dan Levisha. And number 80, Beckham Dickey. Give it up for your Langley Rams.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
All right, there you go, football fans. It's my all-time favorite song, Oh Canada, and that means it's time to play some football here from McLeod Athletic Park. It's the BCFC TELUS Game of the Week. Jake Elliott, Justin Morris set with you. Thanks for joining us. As the BCFC TELUS Game of the Week brought to you by the BC Lions and eXp Realty, 97-way home real estate group in Kelowna, and the coast-to-coast real estate team over there in the harbor city of Nanaimo. Justin, welcome back to the broadcast here as we get set for Rams and Raiders. Always a good matchup anytime these two teams meet. They don't like each other, and that makes for good football.
Great to be here, Jake. And, of course, the Rams looking for their second consecutive win here this afternoon, having picked up their first win of the season last week. So we meet on happier terms a little bit, I suppose, than if they were winless coming into this one.
Well, I tell you what, I've kind of been away for football for the last few weeks, focusing on other things. And when I started to do the prep here for tonight's game, kind of had to scroll down the standings a little bit to find the Langley Rams down there near the bottom, and that's something we haven't really had to do in the last number of years here. But Langley coming off a win. I had a talk with a couple of the coaches prior to the game, and they think they've turned the corner here. They've moved some players around to different positions, and I think we're going to see a little different play calling on both sides of the football here as well. So we'll see if that pans out. The Raiders also struggling this season, 1-4 for VI, and their lone win coming also against Kamloops, but they do have a loss to the Broncos as well, as I think Kamloops picking up their first win, and I want to say like the better part of a decade or something like that. So two teams with one win. Somebody's going to get to their second win here, and Langley on their home field. I know they want this one bad because they need to start climbing those standings here for the defending Canadian champions.
Well, not just that, Jake, but they probably want to put on a show for their home fans as well. They are still winless in this stadium so far this season, and this is a team that, as you said, when we came into the season, had ambitions to get back to where they were last year, which is the top of the mountain as Canadian champions. And I'm not sure that they're going to go all the way again this season, but they do want to thread some wins together and get some momentum headed towards the playoffs, which are still a good ways away, of course. But this is a team, as we said a couple weeks ago as well, that had a lot of turnover this past offseason, and it does take time to find the guys who are going to fill those holes on your roster. Hopefully those last two road games, of course, playing against the Huskers 2 weeks ago and last week in Kamloops, have given this team some time to figure out exactly what the right mix is to pile up some points here the rest of the way.
Yeah, and they'll get the Huskers next week, Will Langley, and that'll be another good test as Valley has beat them this year, and Valley looking much improved, of course, and the Okanagan Sun look pretty loaded up as well as they sit near the top of the standings and have a win over Langley this year already as well. As the Rams will wear their blues with the gold numbers there, white helmets for Langley, and VI with the black pants, white jerseys, red trim, black helmets in there. As Vancouver Island will kick it off as Langley will receive the opening kick. As we're just about set to go here from McLeod. Looks like Fenelon is back there for the opening reception, along with Klassen, who has been good in the return game for Langley this year. And a bit of a delayed start. We appreciate your patience here on BCFC TV. As VI a little late getting to the stadium with some ferry hiccups that have been known to happen. Pretty blustery day out on the Strait of Georgia, I take it, Justin, and sometimes the boats can be a rockin', and they had to slow things down on the cruise over here, so just a little behind schedule as we're just about set to go. Ball is teed up at the 45-yard line. The officials won't get out of the way.
Well, speaking of blustery weather, Jake, it looks like there's some dark clouds on the horizon. We'll see if the weather turns as this game goes along. Of course, rain is classic football weather in these parts, I like to think.
Yeah, we're
nothing the guys are prepared for.
We're in an enclosed environment up here in the broadcast booth, so we're not too worried about it, but we are about to turn the calendar into September, and that's when the season kind of starts to change, as well as it's always an adventure when you start the season in the dead heat of the summer and then work your way towards playoff time in the late fall and conditions get a little mucky.
Ball could get a little slippery as this one goes along, but
I don't know what's going on here. I feel like they're waiting to get the clock reset before they allow the kickoff here. As I know you went to the Lions game last night, Justin, and the Lions unfortunately picking up a loss against Saskatchewan last night to drop to 8-2. But Michael O'Connor going down early in that football game. They lost one of their defensive backs. I think Lucky Whitehead went down in that game as well. So
hamstring injury at one point.
Yeah, it's a tough deal there for the Lions, but we thank them for their support here on the TELUS BC Game of the Week. As we are finally set to go here from McLeod Athletic Park. Thanks for joining us. Jake Gilly, Justin Morris sit with you as the Raiders have it teed up on the 45-yard line. As I believe it'll be Sterling Henry to kick it off. And let's play some football as Klassen will take it at his own 9-yard line. Starts running left. Now he cuts it upfield, gets across the 20, and spun down across the 30-yard line out to the 32. And decent field position to start this drive here for the Rams. And no surprise, we will see Trey Jones come out onto the field here to lead this Rams offense. He has been the quarterback over the last couple of games that has had the yeoman's share of snaps here, and I think they've settled on Trey Jones as being their number one guy here with the departure of Michael Calver.
So that was Joel Klassen with a 25-yard return there. Not bad at all to get Trey Jones started here from the 32 rather.
And he'll work out of the shotgun as he takes the first down snap, and it's a handoff up the middle. Not much against that interior of Vancouver Island. As they stuff it up there, Parker Friesen in on the tackle. As you watch it again. And one of the moves that they have made is putting Cole Barron into the backfield here for Langley, the all-star linebacker who has been around this Rams program. I want to say this is year 4 or 5 now for Cole Barron, but he will be the lead blocker, it looks like, here today. Well, there's one of the adjustments. I think DeJong will see some time in the backfield as well. And Trey Jones to pass on second down. It's a high one. It's snatched out of the air. It's a first down for Aria, who gets across the 45 to about the 47-yard line, and positive yardage there for Langley on that second down play.
And you were talking about finding different roles for guys on different sides of the ball a moment ago with Cole Barron, of course, in the backfield, but Aria working as a receiver. Typically, we've seen him be the kicker.
Yeah, he'll work double duty here today, I am sure. His injury down on the field doesn't look to be too serious. As Will Adams, they don't want to lose him. And that's Vancouver Island's leading tackler coming into today's game. But he will walk off under his own power, and Langley will have a fresh set of downs as they'll scrimmage from the 48-yard line. Again, Trey Jones got the wishbone set here in the backfield, as now Aria will go in motion. And Jones will hand off up the middle, and he's got a lead blocker here. And trying to power his way across the 50 near the midfield stripe as Cairo Hassan getting the carry here. We've seen a heavy dose of Wheeler and DiLorenzo, but Hassan seems to be the primary ball carrier here to start this one.
Pickup of about 5 or so, so could you just do that one more time, a fresh set of downs all over again.
I should note that Caleb Wheeler has switched his jersey number from 33 to 3 here today, but he does stand on the Rams sideline that is packed with bodies as they carry a full load on their roster. Second down, the pitch. It's Hassan one more time. He's got some room to gallop as he skips over a couple of would-be tacklers into Vancouver Island territory. That'll be another first down for Langley, looking sharp on their opening drive of the game.
Well, I said he just had to do that one more time. He picked up much more than 5 this time around, possibly 12 on that carry.
Little hurdle right at the end here, and spins down as the sun starts to poke through here at McLeod, and I think we're going to be okay. I don't think we're going to see any wet stuff here for the next couple of hours anyway. And Jones out of the shotgun at the VI 45 now. Takes the snap. It's Hassan. Good cut at the point of attack. Will get up close to the 40-yard line and be about 6 yards shy of the first down marker. But it's just been kind of a methodical drive here for Langley, Justin. Just, you know, a run on first down, a pass on second down. They've mixed things up pretty well here with the run and the pass, and keeping Vancouver Island on their toes here a little bit, or on their heels, I should say, defensively.
Well, this kind of success in the running game that we're seeing right now on this drive, Jake, is when you and I talked to head coach Corey Fulpott before this season got started, he wanted this to be the team's identity. It wasn't necessarily there in the first few weeks, but seems to be clicking for them right now.
Jones to throw. Completion right near the sticks. Was that Alex France on the reception way up at the top of the field?
It is indeed.
It is indeed. Number 9 in blue and gold there, making his first catch of the afternoon. As they'll spot it down here, they have not waved the chain gang ahead quite yet, and we might get a measurement here early in this game. Might be just short, Justin. We got the rebound physio tent kind of blocking the sticks here on this near sideline to see exactly where this ball lines up. If it's not a first down, it's very, very close. I might put you on the spot here and see, you know, what Al McGuire-esque here. See if you can predict this one, Justin. I think we're going to get a measurement.
Yeah, and if we do get a measurement, it's all the way on the other side of the field. The sticks guys are going to have to go for a jog, and that is exactly what we're seeing now. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough given where they're coming from.
Give me a call here.
You know what? I'm going to say it is a first down.
Okay. I'll say I think it's first down as well. By the nose of the football here. We'll plunk it down, stretch it out. What do we got? First down. We're 1 for 1 tonight, Justin.
And you're right, just by the nose, maybe an inch past the stick. So that was very close, but a fresh set of downs for the Rams, and well-deserved, as Trey Jones finding some success in the sky, in addition to the run game of Cairo Hassan in the early stages of this game. inside enemy territory now on the 34.
They're marching here on their opening drive of the game, and you know that usually the opening drive is pretty scripted on the play calls here, and they'll have rehearsed that all week long in practice, and they're executing pretty well here to start this game for the Rams. It's Jones in the shotgun as he pops in the mouth guard, 2 in the backfield, 3 to this wide side, and Jones to throw on first down over the middle. Floats one up there for Aria, and maybe a little underthrown there for Jones as Aria just couldn't get both hands around it, and it falls incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Take another look at the replay here as it looked like Aria was able to get a touch on it, but might have been batted away from him by the defender before he could haul it in, and that was a nice job there by Jacob Gilman of the Raiders to make sure that one hit the turf incomplete.
And for the first time here today, Langley will stare at a 2nd and long, and you got to think they're going to the air on this play, and might be just out of field goal range as well. So you want to pick up something here if you're Langley to give yourself a chance at points. Jones looks and throws. It's high and almost picked off.
That was Jacob Gilman yet again.
A nice vertical there from Gilman to knock that one down once again. And that'll bring up 3rd down here on the Rams. And what are they going to do here? Will they punt? Will they kick it? And they're almost in that no man's land, Justin, where you just maybe just go for it on 3rd and 10.
It looks like they're bringing the field goal crew out onto the field.
They are. And it looks like France will hold. Aria, of course, the place kicker. He's 4 for 6 so far this year. 9 for 9 on converts. But this one coming from a long way out. A 41-yarder from the left hash mark as he gets his footwork set. France the holder. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up. It's going to be short as it'll bounce down at the 5 and spin back upfield here on Langley as flags come a-flying at the end of that play. I think it'll be no yards on Langley. And something I actually noticed in the Lions game last night, and I don't know if they've done this here in the BCFC or not, but they called a 15-yard no yards penalty when the ball actually hit the turf. Like, I don't know if that's an automatic 15 yards on a no yards call now in the CFL, and I don't know whether the BCFC has adopted that rule as well.
See if we can hear an explanation from the on-field officials for this one. We may have missed it, but regardless.
All right, we should probably just keep that PA up a little bit just in case. So first possession now for Vancouver Island as Chumalock will take the shotgun snap, and it's a handoff. Not much on first down, maybe a couple, as the primary running back tripped up right near the line and able to fall forward for a couple.
Tackle by number 21, Colton DeJong.
As LeChuck May on the carry as we're under 10 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Well, let's call it 2nd down and 9 as they got to get out to the 27 here for a first down for the Raiders. And Chumalock in the shotgun. And Barron actually looks like he's going to play both sides of the football here today, Justin, because he is in there at his regular linebacking position as a flag comes flying prior to the snap, which leads me to believe false start here.
Procedure, 52 Raiders, 5-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
Quentin Pike on the false start, which will back up the Raiders and make it a 2nd down and 14 now.
2nd down, 15 yards to go for Vancouver Island.
As they are back inside, well, just outside their 10-yard line. Let's call it the 13.
And if it wasn't already apparent that rather Chumalock was going to have to look to the sky on this one. 2nd and long.
And here's where Langley likes to feast defensively. And here's pass as Chumalock trying to scramble, evades one right near his own goal line, throws it over the middle, and it falls down incomplete. Pretty good defense there from Langley, as somebody got a paw on there and knocked it down. I believe it might have been Dane Campbell on the coverage. Let's watch the replay again. Chumalock does well just to get away from a potential safety.
We got a very late flag on the play, though.
Drew Cushway. And are they calling pass interference here on Langley?
After the play, exceptional conduct, 20 Rams, 10-yard penalty. Still third down.
Okay, so it's a 10-yard penalty on Langley, but because of that
Objectionable conduct, that call going against Drew Cushway of the Rams.
it's still third down here on Vancouver Island as they needed about 14-15 for the first down. They're still about 5 yards short. And early in the football game, not a position you want to be gambling in here on the road. So punt team out for Vancouver Island.
Klassen back at about the midfield line.
And the lone returner here in Klassen has been good in the return game, both on kickoffs and punts for Langley. Former receiver now playing on the defensive side of the football, and a beautiful punt driving Klassen back to his own 45, waiting for blockers, and I'm not sure there's any coming. Evades one, still on his feet. And a flag comes in. I think this will be a hold on Langley as well, as I'm not sure where
Return by number
the
5.
return
Klassen.
team was there for Langley. It just seemed like there's about 8 guys ready to tackle Klassen after receiving the football. They just couldn't hang on to their blocks long enough. Look at it here. I mean, just nowhere really to go for Klassen with the football.
5 or 6 members of the Raiders all making a wall and giving him nowhere to go. Joel Klassen brought down maybe a few yards ahead of where he picked up the ball, and they're going to march it back by about 10 yards in addition to that. So Langley starting this one from their own 35, thanks to a penalty flag.
Yeah, they had a good long drive on their first possession, but come up empty as the field goal no good.
And this is about where they started that opening drive here, Jake, as well. Maybe their own 32, so 3 yards ahead of that.
It is, as they'll start from the right hash mark here for Trey Jones, who claps the hands, takes a low snap. Hassan on the carry, lowers the head and plows ahead for a gain of about 3. And I'm a little surprised to see Hassan do the majority of the carries here. I think he's had them all. As you know, Wheeler, one of their international imports here, and by far Langley's leading carrier, and averaging over 5 yards per carry as Wheeler. But maybe nursing a bit of an injury, or maybe, you know, he's getting a bit of a message sent to him here early in this football game as well. They want to get a look at some other guys, or who knows, maybe they want to keep him fresh for the second half. Jones to throw over the middle. He's got Ari again, who takes a wallop, and he's looking for a flag for a dangerous hit on a defenseless receiver. As Jones hung it up there, Aria had his hands around it but could not come down with the football. And I think this is just a well-timed hit that jarred it free.
Take another look at it here. Is Aria again able to get the ball in his hands, but the defense waiting.
And it's Gilman again, who's been involved defensively on the last 3 or 4 plays. And I think that's just a good football play right there.
That was the same play essentially. Though on the last drive, Gilman got both hands into the ball, straight into the ball basically. This time right into the body of Aria, and he's a little shaken up as a result.
And Langley really been looking over the middle a lot here offensively, as they'll have to kick away. And a spiraling kick, not a deep one. Look out as it'll bounce around the 40 and roll a little further. And now picked up. A flag does come in. So let's see, now a second flag comes in very late. And let's see if this is 5 or 15 here in the BCFC. I was very surprised to see that last night with the ball hitting the ground in the Lions game, and they rang him up for no yards, 15 yards. But the second flag that came in, I'm a little unsure what that one was.
4 officials having a bit of a powwow right now at the spot of the ball.
Here's the call.
Illegal block, 26 Raiders, 10-yard first down.
Okay, so it's not a no yards on Langley, which I thought was a little suspect at first glance. It is an illegal block in the back. And they have 26. Did they just mention 26?
They did, yeah. We don't have one on our sheet.
Okay, that might be an issue.
I also saw the kicker who got this game started was number 22. We don't have one of those on our game sheet today either. So,
Patrick, we may need some assistance down here in the broadcast booth as they hand off on first down. Doesn't go for much as Lechuk May will scamper out of bounds after picking up maybe one.
So after a nice bit of consistency on the offensive drive to get this one started.
1 yard gain, second down.
For the Langley Rams, it's going to be a series of 2 and outs here for both sides, as neither the Rams nor Raiders able to thread some consistency together on a sustained drive since the opening drive that got this one started just a few minutes ago.
All right, our statistician Patrick does not have a 22 or a 26 on his, and if he doesn't have it, Justin, nobody does. As that one very close to completion, but I think it is in fact incomplete.
That brings up third down.
And it'll bring up third down here on Vancouver Island. A quick 2 and out on the Raiders.
The Rams defense has got to be thrilled with the job that they're doing so far in this one.
Well, you look at it here, Justin, the 1-3 record does not look good for Langley, but 58 points scored. They've given up 76. Not a huge discrepancy there, but you look at the Vancouver Island side of things, they're 1-4, 60 points scored, but 195 given up, and that's really been the difference between the two football teams. Here's the punt. And it's a good one. My goodness, what a leg, as Klassen will bring it in at the 48. Turns it upfield in front of the Vancouver Island bench, and he'll get close to midfield. And this will be the best starting field position Langley has had so far in this first quarter.
Pushed out at the 54, and it looks like that's where they're going to spot it as well.
Tackle made by 86 there. And Noah Desjardins.
And after trying to cut across the field on his last return, Klassen.
North-south.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Made the quick decision after a nice little spin move to just go straight upfield.
All right, so ball just shy of the midfield stripe here for Jones and the Rams as Alex France comes to this near boundary split wide. As it looks like Gosen in the slot as Jones on the pitch. There's Caleb Wheeler on the carry, and he'll spin across the midfield stripe to the Raider 51 and pick up about 5 yards here for his first touch of the game.
And it wasn't just that they weren't putting the ball in his hands. He wasn't even out on the field for those early drives.
You could spot that right down on the 50 as that's where the hip came down on the field. So 5-yard gain there, right around his average for Wheeler. And it'll be 2nd and 5 here for Langley. As they work from the left hash. Jones has been in the shotgun, and he'll take a snap. He'll look to throw. It's a quick one. It's complete. Ooh, that looked awkward on the tackle there, but no worse for the wear. Is that Beckham Dickey out there on that far side? Justin will have to pick up the number, as it's a ways away from our location. And going down a little awkwardly.
I believe that was Braden Van Muyen.
Yeah, you're right. His first completion. He'll come off the field here for the diminutive wide receiver.
Had his ankles wrapped up almost immediately.
Just looked a little sketchy the way he went down. His leg kind of folded underneath him. Looks to be okay. As Jones will hand off, Wheeler gets buried in the backfield by big number 99, Braven Arnell, coming in on the tackle, and that play just never really got started as Arnell beat his man on the line of scrimmage and was to Wheeler before he ever got the motor going.
And big 99 is right. He is towering over his fellow defensive players right now.
Barron coming back into the ball game here offensively for Langley.
Taking a bit of a rest after a successful defensive series, but no rest for the wicked. You're right. Cole Barron right back out there.
Colton DeJong needs some assistance with his helmet as he comes out of the football game, as Jones drops back with an empty backfield all day in the pocket, surveying downfield. Now he's got to scramble. Mouth guard flapping out of his mouth. Jones looks. Now he fires. Coming back to the football and making the catch inside the 20-yard line And a beautiful play there from Trey Jones as he hooks up with Ryan Gosin on about a 35-yarder.
And Jake, I know we're still in the early stages of this game, a little under 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter, but that might be the best play we see all day.
Well,
the ability to get that ball away, and what a pass, incredible.
Yeah, and then listen, I was about to say that might be the best play that we've witnessed in person here from the Langley offense as far as big play explosions go. That one there, Jones making it happen with his legs, then his arms, and a nice job from Gosin to come back to the football. As Jones will hand off to Wheeler. He's got some space out to the left. He cuts it back upfield, looking for the goal line as he's inside the 5 down to the 3. And it'll be tackled down there. It'll be 1st and goal here for the Rams, who are knocking on the door.
And it's one thing to escape the trouble in a scramble situation like that, but so often when that happens, Jake, we just see the quarterbacks try to throw the garbage basically and make sure they don't get hauled down for a big loss to not only get the ball away, but make one of the nicest passes that we've seen from this Langley offense all season. That was one heck of a play.
So Wheeler will set up the Rams offense inside the 5-yard line as Barron comes in. Hassan back in the game. The goal line package here for Langley is Jones up under center for this 1st and goal. Crouches down. Here's the snap. It's Hassan up the middle to the goal line. No signal yet as the officials come in. And I think they're going to say a yard, maybe a half a yard short here for Langley. And now Tristan Yansu, the big body quarterback for Langley, comes in, and they're going to go quickly here. And this is going to be sneak all the way as everybody digs in on the trenches for this 2nd and goal.
It's right on the 1, only
Yancy
1 yard to go.
With the push. And no signal yet once again. Now they call it touchdown Rams.
Tristan Yansu, the quarterback, hanging on to the ball himself.
Who needs a helmet for Yansu as he had his bucket yanked right off as he plows his way into the end zone on a 2nd effort. I'm not so sure he got in there, Justin, but the referees said he did, and that's what matters.
Take another look at it from right on the goal line at this angle on the replay, and again, tough to see anything in that big mess of bodies, but
yeah,
we will defer to the officials who say that's a good touchdown.
So 6-0 Langley as they'll line up the extra point here with $1:55 to go in this opening quarter as you're watching the BCFC TELUS Game of the Week, brought to you by the BC Lions and eXp Realty in Kelowna and the real estate team over there in Nanaimo as well. As they make sure they got the proper personnel out on the field. Last thing you want to do is take a penalty in this situation. And there's usually one guy responsible for counting everybody up.
And it was the kicker himself, Tato Aria, in this situation.
Yeah, and I don't think they have the right amount out there as the flag comes in. And this is probably going to be a delay of game on Langley and an extra body out on the field. Too many men in the huddle.
Aiden Frisky having to make his way back to the sideline right now in a hurry.
That's a tough jog back to the sideline there. When you're the extra guy, you know it. You took the penalty, and then you got to run back to your sideline. That is a lonely jog right back there, and you know you're going to hear about it when you get there. So they'll back him up another 5. Shouldn't be a problem here for Tato. As they'll spot this one down on the 15 now. Remember, Aria missing from about 41 yards on a field goal attempt earlier. That one came from the left hash. As this one dead straight away from about the 23. Langley, I think they've been pretty solid defensively, Justin. The one issue they've kind of had is putting points up on the board. And they'll put the 7th point up on the board here as tried and true through the middle of the uprights. But I think they got to feel pretty good about themselves the way they've started this football game and been able to move it down the field a couple of times. And that time they got it into the end zone, something they've had a bit of a problem doing, especially on those short yards, those goal line situations. We've seen them kind of shoot themselves in the foot a couple of times and take points off the board, either with poor execution or bad penalties.
And Jake, we are not the only ones still buzzing about that pass completion from, of course, Trey Jones. As I had my eyes on the sidelines, Jones with his helmet off, just taking some love from teammates up and down the benches.
Oh, why not?
Everybody got big smiles after that one as the Rams are first on the board.
An excellent high school quarterback was Trey Jones, and he's been with Langley for the last couple of 3 years now and has taken over the starting role here for Langley. And I think that's another thing they need to kind of settle on, Justin, is who was going to be the guy to lead this offense, and then, make your mark and stick with it and let him grow and develop as the season moves along here, right? I'm pretty confident Langley is going to make the playoffs, and whether you finish, number 1, number 3, number 4, whatever, they're going to be a tough out when it comes time, late October, November. And it's just going to take this Rams team, the defending champs, of course, not just here in the BCFC, but the entire country. It's going to take them a little time to figure out, like we said, the roles and positions and the proper personnel, and everybody's got to fit in the right spot, that sort of thing. And I think that process has begun to happen now after 4 games of play.
Redefining their identity, as it were, a little bit in terms of finding the right fits in a number of different situations on the roster.
Well, I think back to it, and this isn't high school football, but I think back to it, me and you, we always do the Buchanan Bowl. You do the PA, and I always get called in to do the play-by-play there. And I think back to Carson Graham and the way they looked in that Buchanan Bowl very early in the season to when I saw them at the Subway Bowl going on. And I thought, this cannot be the same team that I watched back in September. But there they were a couple of months later and just looked completely different. And that's the kind of maturation and growth that you'll find here at the junior level as well. It takes time.
And speaking of those Carson Graham Eagles, who were the BC champions last year, of course, Kenneth Balucos, a member of that team with the Rams this season. He was one of the players, in fact, on the sideline minutes ago, giving some love to quarterback Trey Jones.
From the word Tweetsmere. And Langley always does an excellent job of going out and recruiting the top caliber players that are looking for a place to play at the next level. Ball out to the 50-yard line after the return here from the Raiders as Chumluck waves his receivers in motion. He's got an empty backfield. He'll throw deep down this near sideline up the seam. Almost picked off.
Brox Comia.
And there's another one for the, I want to say, New Westminster Hyaks, part of that championship team a few years ago now, led by one Farhan Lalji, and that crazy finish to that football game. You remember that?
That was
the final play, like the Hail Mary, the first touchdown of the guy's career, and then they go for the 2-point conversion instead of the extra point to tie the game. They go for the win and get it. Man, oh man, that's one of the craziest football games I ever did call.
I was watching that one from the sidelines alongside the great Steve Ewan of the province.
There you go.
Very memorable game.
There's a catch and a completion and a first down for Vancouver Island. And a nice job there for a couple of yaks for Andre Gordon, who was short of the sticks on the completion, but fights his way for the Raiders' first down of the game. And right there, he was wrapped up in a second effort. Picks up another 6 yards and moves the sticks for VI.
5-yard penalty before this drive even got started, of course, helped move the sticks on this one as well.
Late first quarter, 30 seconds to go with the clock running. Rams leading 7-0. Ball inside their territory now at the 52-yard line. They'll work from the left hash. It's a handoff, and it is going backwards here on Vancouver Island. As big number 99 on the Raiders making a play. Now big number 99, Cade Manuel South, making a play here for the Rams.
That's Riker Pearson who took the handoff, number 49 for the Raiders, but he just had nowhere to go immediately. A wall of beef right in his way.
Careful, Justin. I didn't have lunch today. I'm a little peckish.
All right, I will try and not call Cole Barron the Baron of Beef again today.
Stay away from the food references for the next little bit if you can. At least till halftime, please. Second down, and let's call it 11 as Chumluck on the rollout, but Cole Barron has other ideas, forces him back the other way, throws it up for grabs. Look out, this thing's going incomplete. And a good job there from Chumluck just to get that thing not only across the line of scrimmage, but away from any danger there. I don't think he ever had intent of trying to complete that pass, but he's lucky that he, number one, got away from Cole Barron, and then two, got the ball across the line of scrimmage and out of the reach of any danger.
Kenneth Balucos doing a little bit of a finger wag along the sidelines after that ball hit the turf as well. That's another big stop for this defense.
So 15 minutes in the books here from McLeod Athletic Park in the BCFC. Game of the week brought to you by TELUS, the BC Lions. eXp Realty, 97 Way Home Real Estate Group in Kelowna, and the Coast to Coast Real Estate Team in Nanaimo. As you knew, as soon as you look at it on the schedule, Raiders and Rams from McLeod, just circle it. That was going to be the game of the week, no question about it.
You mentioned before we got started that these two teams historically do not like each other one bit, and we haven't seen a lot of that tempers flaring, kind of big-time penalty flags come out in the early stages of this one.
Let's not kid ourselves. Usually we see some things in the stands right in front of our broadcast location as well, as the fans like to get into it anytime these two teams meet as well. So 15 down, 15 goes up on the clock here in this second quarter. And we're set to go, as it'll be a third down here for Vancouver Island after that incompletion to end the first.
Third and long. And I don't believe that's Joel Klassen back to receive this one this time. It's number 88, Braden Van Meehan again.
Okay, so he had a catch in that first quarter, and they decide to put him deep. And maybe another one of those adjustments. Because I think they always, one thing that Langley will have in their back pocket if they need it is to put Klassen back on the offensive side of the football. Short kick here. And I think if they did that, honestly, I think Klassen will probably be their best wide receiver. He's got the experience, and he's done the job before. And, back when Langley was very, very successful, he was in the mix of that receiving core. So I think, with the way things are set up now, they've found that he is more valuable to the team on the defensive side of the ball, but he's surely got the capability to flip around and play some receiver if he needs to.
Absolutely. A guy, you want to talk about yakking it up. Yards after the catch, that's why he's
19
the
Rams,
receiver.
5-yard penalty, repeat, third down.
So it's I want to say bad penalty on Langley. It's just a 5-yarder, but they were going to have great field position there off the short punt. But a 5-yard penalty, it remains third down. Vancouver Island inside Langley territory now, but will still kick the football away. But they had such a short kick last time, and I wouldn't expect that 2 times in a row here.
Oh, no. See if Van Nooyen actually has to make a catch this time.
Spin it and kick it. It's a bit of a dead duck as it goes left and out of bounds. No return, but I want to say about a 28, 29-yard punt there. And Langley will start, looks like, right from their own 25-yard line as they lead this football game 7-0. I should let the fans know here, Justin, I have another engagement here tonight coming up in a couple hours from now. I'm going to try and get as much of this game in as I possibly can before I have to part ways with you, and you'll take it home on the play-by-play for the rest of the afternoon. And I'll also be away next week, as you'll be play-by-play for the entire football game. And Voice of the Valley Huskers, one Warren Flash Andrews, will ride shotgun with you next week.
Looking forward to seeing Warren next week. And it'll be a little bit like, of course, when
we're in BC Place doing playoff football, yeah.
And when we get late in the game, of course, you see maybe the starting quarterback hit the bench for a little bit. The backup gets some reps late in the fourth quarter. That might be the case on commentary here tonight as well.
It's been a busy day, and I always look at it like this. Whichever season I start first, that is the one I have to give my commitment to first. So I'm working double duty here tonight, but I'm off to the Langley Event Center for a big one between the Thunder and the Timbermen. Speaking of Vancouver Island, Nanaimo Timbermen in action. Game 5 of the WLA Finals coming up at 7 o'clock.
So it's all Langley and Nanaimo tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's just that kind of a day. As a completion made on first down for the Rams, as Beckham Dickey making his first catch of the afternoon. He's Langley's leading receiver coming into today's contest. 9 catches, make that number 10, 170 yards. And the average has been good for Dickey as well, over 18 yards per catch. He'll come up short of that, but it is a first down here for the Rams. Ball out to the 32-yard line. As they work from the left hash mark, 3 receivers high. It's Jones on the handoff. It's Hassan on the carry. Big gap up the middle, out to the midfield as he gets across the 50 and a little extra surge to the 52-yard line. Good run there for Cairo Hassan.
And that has really been the story of this offense for a lot of the afternoon so far. Cairo Hassan just tearing up the field.
Wow. Big hole opened up by the Hogs up front too. And Hassan hit it hard and was off and run as he lowers the pads down on initial contact, and still picked up about 6 yards after that first hit. First down. Hassan again got a good block at the point of attack. Switches the ball up the sideline, and he's got another 13 yards along the ground. And Kyra Hassan looking like a nice little adjustment here for Langley, making him the primary ball carrier, and he's paying off the coaches here with a couple of good carries in this opening half. And he'll get a breather now, and rightly so, after a couple of good runs there for 22.
And it's not as though Caleb Wheeler was not impressive as the primary running back to start the season. So this is a gift to the Rams, if anything, to have two guys that you can put the ball in the hands of consistently and get some strong results from. 1st and 10, Langley on the move. Jones will throw. It's high and incomplete, as he looked for Terrell Jones on the reception. Don't get him confused. There's Trey Jones and Terrell Jones, and that was Trey to Terrell there, but passed just a little too high for number 2, and pretty good coverage out there as well by Ramika. See if we see that Jones to Jones connection a little later on in this game. But 2nd and long, you have to think Trey is looking skyward.
Wheeler is in the backfield. As Jones, no need for that mouth guard as it dangles in front of his face mask. Here comes pressure up the middle. Jones patiently waiting. Now he fires and put a little too much mustard on that one, as he had an open receiver in Van Meeuwen. But just a little too much pop on that one as it sailed over his hands. And it almost looked like Jones probably could have ran for that first down if he really wanted to.
We're up here in the booth, of course, got some Langley coaches to the left of us. I think that's what they were hoping to see from their quarterback. But we did see him have great success back in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe the right decision was made there. Just a little poor execution on the delivery. Need to feed that one a little bit lower and a little softer and give his receiver a chance. Well, punt team on here for the Rams and trying to pin Vancouver Island deep. Aria from his own 53, and this one spinning. Look out as it goes off a Rams helmet. That'll be a legal player downfield, and not much you can do about that, as he wasn't expecting a football to drop out of the sky on top of his bucket.
That's Travis Richley who had the ball just bounce off of his head, and we'll see it on the replay again here. Actually, it's behind the camera, I believe, because even the camera crew was expecting that one to go a little deeper, but the way she goes sometimes, unfortunately.
No yards, 15 Rams, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, that's tough. No yards there. I mean, honestly, there's not much you can do about that. And I'll be a free 15 yards here for Vancouver Island as you watch it again. And, you know, as good as Aria has been over his career kicking, I think the punting has struggled a little bit here, and I think that's an area that they would like to improve in if they can. As Aria just averaging 28 yards per punt. And you'd like to see that 35, 40 yards here at the junior level. It's a throw for Chumalock on first down. Completion made. Trying to bounce it to the outside and picking up close to 8 yards on that first down play. There's a good strong arm there from Chumalock.
Pick up about 6 yards on that one.
Andre Gordon, who is open on that far boundary. Ball out to the 46.5-yard line. And it'll be second down. Let's call it 4 here, Justin. Got to get to the 50 for a fresh set. Big play here for Vancouver Island, because they have not really been able to sustain much offense here.
A lot of 2-and-outs for the Raiders so far.
That's Chumalock. Hard signal, and he'll throw, slings it, and oh man, got a good jump on it. Dane Campbell, yeah, he had a beat on that thing, and if he picks that off, he is walking to the end zone.
So often, Jake, you see guys in a situation like that be very disappointed in themselves for not being able to come up with the interception. But
still a good play defensively.
Yeah, Dane Campbell very happy right now just to be able to knock that one away, especially to bring up a big third down here and force the Raiders to punt it off.
Again, Raiders go 2 and out. And Langley may want to be wary of the fake in this area of the football field, this juncture of the game. Raiders trying to get something going offensively. Maybe a little trickery on special teams might be in order. And they want to be aware of that, but it's a straight punt. Sidewinder, again angling left and out of bounds. As they'll walk it up to the 36-yard line here of Langley. Another short punt from Vancouver Island. Another decent field position starting point for Langley. But just with the 7-0 lead, you kind of feel like Langley's dominated this opening half, but still just the 7-0 lead here.
They have marched it downfield a few times with some quality drives that have not seen them put some points on the board. The opening drive, of course, of this game, a memorable one to be sure, but we'll see what they can do here.
Jones, you know, I'm surprised the official doesn't say something about the mouth guard just dangling from his face mask like that. And if you're a quarterback, you want to have that thing in. But it's a handoff to Hassan. Another good hole and another good run for about 12 yards, running right off tackle. And Cairo Hassan going to be, what, close to 40, 50 yards in this opening half, and still over 9 minutes to go in it.
Yeah, he is making a compelling case right now for player of the game, and we're not even at halftime. That is how successful Cairo Hassan has been on the run as he moves the chains on first down once again.
And if I'm Langley, I'm not getting away from that anytime soon. Just keep doing it. And here it is again. Hassan plows ahead for a good 8, maybe 9. Out near the midfield stripe here on the township flag.
They're going to call that 6 or so.
It's not a good spot in my humble opinion. Closer to 7 than it is 6.
Regardless, as you said, why not keep putting the ball in the hands of Cairo Hassan? He is just chewing up the turf on every single carry.
And they're kind of going over top of the right guard, right tackle, as they found something there, I think, as Jones will throw on second down. It's a quick strike. Oh, what a catch there. Reaching out and snatching that out of midair was Beckham Dickey, showing off his hands.
Take another look at it on the replay here. A great catch for Beckham Dickey, the most difficult grab he's had to make so far in this game, and as he had bodies draped all over him the whole way.
That is just athletic ability there from Beckham Dickey. First down, Langley, just shy of the Raiders 50 now. Jones, shotgun snap. Hassan makes a juke and gets down to close to the 45-yard line. Another gain of 5 for 22 along the ground.
And that's the incredible thing about Cairo Hassan in this game right now, Jake, is even when it looks like he doesn't have the most successful carry, he's still coming up with a good 5 yards. So they're going to call this one, I think, no, still 5.
Yeah. So got to get, well, close to the 40-yard line, not quite. Hassan will get a breather. Wheeler into the football game here for Langley. It's a second down. Let's call it a long 5 here for the Rams. From the left hash mark, Jones points out the blitzer. And Wheeler will step up in protection as Jones will throw. Looks for the deep ball down the sideline. Got a man wide open, brought in, and it's a Rams touchdown. Terrell Jones from Trey Jones, and the Rams are up 13-0.
And there is that Jones to Jones connection coming through. Terrell Jones way downfield, had nobody around him. And I believe the Raiders, just like I was up here in the booth, Jake, were expecting a short pass to bring up another first down. Instead, they go way downfield. And it is a 2-score game. The Rams with a big lead now.
Yeah, I mean, that struck me as a play that one coach, Howie Zarin, would call. You know what I'm saying there? Like, he likes to throw you off kilter and keep you guessing. And like you said, everybody expecting the short ball there. Why not hit the home run? And Jones to Jones for the major.
Trey certainly showing he's got the arm to go deep.
Yeah,
he's done it a few times today.
Beautifully thrown ball as well as a flag comes in as Aria punches it through. And I believe this will be offside on the Raiders. I'm not sure if we can get one more look at that beautifully thrown ball from Trey Jones to Terrell Jones. But it was there. Ask and you shall receive. Look at this. And it just drops it right out of the sky into the pocket. Beautifully done.
A pass so perfect. The Langley coaching staff up here in the booth wanted to bask in its glory one more time.
Need some audio, if you ask me. Yeah. No end on the line here on Langley. I think.
So fans officially.
Yeah, point, extra point will count. 14-0 Rams. 6:53 here to go in this opening half from beautiful McLeod Athletic Park. As the shadows start to creep across the field here. As it is Jake Elliott and Justin Morissette with you. And if you'd like to be interactive during the broadcast, feel free to do so. You can reach us both via Twitter. As the ball falls off the tee here, you can reach me at PXP, the number 4 Sports. PXP for Sports for yours truly, and Justin Morissette at Justin Morris.
Yes, M-O-R-I-S, 1 R and 1 S.
If you just so you know, if you follow Justin, you're going to get a whole lot of wrestling content, maybe a couple political takes, and for me, you can work some Canucks in there as well. For me, it's a whole bunch of lacrosse. So, and I like to retweet things from time to time. But feel free to get at us as kick it off. As the ball down to about the 13-yard line, return on here for Bradbrook. And he'll get back to his own 20. There's a little wrestling match going on in behind the play. And I'm not sure how there is not a flag there on 41 in Colburn.
Logan Curley of the Rams, incredulous that he did not draw a call on that, still making his case to the official as he makes his way over to the sideline.
Yeah, that thing was going on about 20 yards behind where the tackle was made, and man, oh man.
I feel like
Colburn lucky to get away with what he just did. I'll just say that.
I feel like I was back at Nat Bailey Stadium again like last weekend.
Speaking of wrestling, yes.
Calling NEW action.
All right, Raiders will start from the 31-yard line. Chumuluk with time in the pocket. Now that evaporates as he rolls out, looks downfield, delivers the football, and a flag comes in. As the pass intended for Andre Gordon, and I don't know if they're going to call him for coming over the top of the back there. As we'll have to watch the replay here.
That was a desperate attempt on Gordon's part to try and even make that catch in the first place. We'll get another look at it here.
All sorts of pressure. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough.
Pass interference. Rams. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
Spot foul. You heard it there. Automatic first down, says the back judge. So we might get a better angle on it here, Justin. Yeah, not really. But Gordon got up asking for it right away, so.
That was Kenneth Belukos.
I'll get it. Here's the run on first down, and look out. Wow. Dane Campbell just goes submarine style as Kobe Lechuk-May goes you-know-what over tea kettle. Ouch. Put that on the highlight. I mean, everybody's okay, thankfully, but that
did look dangerous.
Sure did. One more time for you. As watch this, stepping up, wrap up, and spike it down. I think we've seen our tackle of the game here in the second quarter.
We sure have, and for a loss as well, that'll bring up 2nd and 12.
As Chumuluk overloads, and he's going to be pressured, trying to run for it now. He's got some space out here, and he's got a blocker as well, and he's going to get the first down right in front of the Rams bench. A beautiful run there from Ben Chumuluk as he just bought himself some time and then had all sorts of space towards the Langley bench here. As the play was designed to go to the far side of the field, and when that broke down,
there were no defenders really on the left side of the field.
Yeah.
From a Langley perspective, that would have been on the right side of the field for Chumuluk as he cut down the sideline.
And, you know, that probably shouldn't be surprising, but Chumuluk is actually the Raiders' leading rusher as well. 34 carries for 162 yards. He'll throw here. He's got Gordon on the out. And he'll try and work his way up the sideline and pick up close to 5. 4.8 per carry. A touchdown to go there along with it for Chomoluk. So he's obviously done some running this season already. Maybe some designed and then some out of necessity as well.
It was certainly out of necessity on that carry that moved the chains, but a 6-yard pickup on first down will bring up 2nd and 4 for the Raiders here. So this Langley defense perhaps needs to refocus a little bit after that pass interference call that they might not have liked a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah, well, I got a timeout on the field here with 4:32 to go to halftime, and I kind of feel like this game is just cruising along, Justin. Not, you think back to the first couple of games we did, and it was almost like a penalty every single snap. We've only seen a few here today, and they've been penalties that are going to happen throughout a football game. No yards and a procedure, but nowhere near what we saw early in the season. And that's kind of what I'm talking about with the maturity and the growth and all that sort of stuff too. Those kinks take a while to get worked out.
I mean, our broadcasts ran over 3 hours the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
Or a little over, less than an hour actually into this one when you think about the 15-minute delay to kickoff. This looks like it's going to be a 60-minute half.
So Dane Campbell, he of the gold shoes, will make his way to the sideline. Doesn't look to be anything too serious for Campbell. He was the man that made that tackle earlier in the game, and we'll take a couple of plays off here as the Raiders look at a 2nd and 5. Chomoluk, drop back, throw it, completion, first down. And pretty good timing and play design there for Dylan Pye. I think I'm saying that right. Pye, P-Y-E.
So, yes.
Okay. First down, Raiders. And that was just your classic 5-yard button hook right there. And that's something you probably work on every single day in practice, the 5-yard button hook, and Chomoluk put it right on the numbers.
I know, Jake, you were asking me not to talk about food earlier.
We're close to halftime. We're close to halftime.
Hopefully Chomoluk won't look to connect with Pye again before the half is over.
I didn't know where you were going with that. Here's a run on first down, and Langley couldn't get him down. And second effort here, still fighting for more yards, was Lachuk May, who looked like he was about to go down, Justin, and then somehow spun out of traffic and picked up another 4 yards. I'm not sure if they marked him down right there and then, though. I don't think they did. Hard to see whether a knee touched down there or not.
Picked up another, 3 or 4 at least afterwards.
It'll be a 2nd down and short here. Let's call it 2. As the Raiders with their best field position of the football game here, their best drive of the game going. And have a 2nd and short, playbook wide open here for VI. Here comes pressure from Langley off the edge, and it's a handoff up the middle and going to be good enough for a Vancouver Island first down. I think. I don't know. They're going to say 3rd down, Justin. Very deceiving from our location.
Yeah, it's just 1 yard short, maybe half a yard, Jake.
And I think if you're the Raiders here,
you got to go for it.
Curtis Vizza, you got to go. Down 14, late first half, best field position of the game. You've kind of struggled to score points this year, and you've given up a lot of points. You got to take advantage of your opportunities here. And if your team can't pick up a 3rd and 1 from this spot on the football field, then you're going to be in trouble anyway. So line it up and just try and execute and pick up a yard.
Even if you do suffer a turnover on downs,
not
this
the worst
is about where you'd probably be kicking it away to, in most cases anyways.
Chomoluk, a flag comes in, and most likely offside Rams.
I believe that was Cole Barron was the first man to move.
So that'll be an automatic first down here for the Raiders if that is the case. As we'll get you the call here on BCFC
Offside,
TV.
Rams, 5-yard penalty, result, first down.
By the way, how good is it having this PA function where we can just turn up the official whenever we want and we can turn them off whenever we want as well?
We don't have to try and scratch our heads for the explanation up here in the booth.
I think
there have been some puzzling calls over the years.
Well, you know, I'm always kind of hard on the officials, Justin. We know this by now after my broadcasting career here in the BCFC. But
it's a difficult job.
I'm saying right now, I think the officials are doing a good job. They're calling the penalties, they're making the call, and they're getting on with the football game in a timely fashion. That's all I'm asking for, and they're doing it here.
It's been a good day so far.
Chomaluk to throw. There's that out pattern again to Gordon, and he's spun down right near the line of scrimmage as Langley has seen that play a few times, and they make a play defensively there, as I think once they saw what play was coming, they jumped that one pretty quickly and get Gordon down to the ground.
Kenneth Beluco's coming up big once again. Not the biggest guy, but he is known to make some big plays.
So a gain of a half a yard, let's say, and it's 2nd down and 9 to go. Got to get to the 23-yard line here for a first down as they'll work from the left hash mark. They got 4 receivers in, 2 in the backfield on the offset eye. As Chomaluk takes the shotgun snap, looks deep, throws it into traffic. It's picked off. Dane Campbell again, and he's got a head of steam coming back the other way. A flag comes in. I think it's going to be picked up, and another flag comes in. That one will not be picked up, but Langley is going to come up with an interception here. But I think the return is probably coming back on a holding call. We'll have to wait for it. But how about Dane Campbell having himself a football game here as he has one of the best tackles in the game and now comes up with an interception. You got your 50-50 tickets, Justin?
Not
over
yet.
Gino.
You might have to go grab some during the break here.
I think so.
Waiting on the explanation on those flags from the officials.
Yeah, 2 came in. I thought one official was going to pick it up. I thought maybe it just fell out of his pocket.
Penalty. On the return, we have illegal block. Rams, 10-yard penalty. Blindside block. Rams, 15-yard penalty. First down.
Okay, so 2 bad blocks there from Langley on the return. 25-yard penalty. They do get the pick, but they're going to be staring at a long field here, and this thing is getting walked all the way back inside their 5-yard line to the 2.
Oh, wow.
So that is tough there for Langley, who make a great play defensively and then shoot themselves in the foot, not once, but twice. 25 yards and penalties right there on one play.
Not just invalidating that incredible return off the pick from Dane Campbell, but yeah, basically walking them back right to their own goal line. And Trey Jones,
it's a dangerous area of the football field here.
Certainly is. He's going to have to make some quick decisions and get the ball away to avoid potentially getting hauled down for a safety in his own zone.
And Vancouver Island may not be so disappointed about the interception now after Langley is going to have to start this drive from their own 2-yard line. And anything can happen back here as Jones stands in the shotgun. He'll take a high snap and hand off to Wheeler, who will get out of the end zone, but not much further than that as he's cut down before the 5-yard line. It'll be 2nd and long.
Yeah, maybe a pickup of 1 on that one. That was brought down to, I think, the 3. They're going to say the 4, 2-yard pickup. But this is tough sledding for the Rams right here, and even if they don't suffer some sort of calamity on the 2nd down, they're going to kick it away and give the ball right back to the Raiders in great field position.
Yeah, the one saving grace they have is it's late in the half here with 1:30 to go in it, but that's still enough time. Low snap, and what do we got here? Whistles go before the play even really starts. And it might be a false start here on Langley, which will back them right back up to their 1-yard line now, if that's the case.
Procedure, 52 Rams, half the distance.
This is what I'm talking about, Justin. There was no 4 or 5-man conference going on there for 5 minutes. He talked to one judge. Yeah, was that false start? Yes, it was. Okay, and then makes the announcement, spot the ball, and let's go.
That one goes against Landon Sommers of the Rams, and
so not a huge penalty because it's just a 1-yard penalty, essentially backing him up a yard, but they still got to get out past the 10-yard line to about the 12 for a first down. Jones to throw, quick strike, completion made, and first down. Big play there for Langley and Ryan Gosin, who's got himself another catch as he goes up there courageously, knowing he's going to take a shot, but hangs on to the football.
And that was the play they needed in a situation like that, just to give themselves a little bit of breathing room and not have to start every play from inside their own end zone.
Yeah, that's huge right there. Even if you don't come up with points on this drive, just getting away from the shadow of your own goal line, keeping the clock moving. Remember, Vancouver Island will get the football to start the second half as well.
But a lot of penalty flags in the final couple minutes here, and that's got to be a focus of Corey Philpott during the intermission.
Here's Jones buying time in the pocket. Now he's going to use his legs. He'll slide down, and that'll draw a flag for sure. As it might have been a late slide, but Jones is still down on the turf here, and he paid a price. And that will warrant 15 yards every single time when you hit the quarterback with the feet going down first here, as you'll watch it again on BCFC TV, TELUS Game of the Week.
Tyler Ruck of the Raiders is who made the late contact on that one.
And Jones, with the injury, will have to come out of the football game here, which shouldn't be too big of a deal. Yancey will come in. No, excuse me, it will not be Tristan Yancey. It's Hunter Norman, who is kind of like I want to say the second, third. Jacob Davies there as well. Hunter Norman coming in for this first down play after the 15-yard personal foul. But you would expect here with 57 seconds to go, ball out to the 40-yard line now, but I would expect just a handoff here from Norman, if not once, twice, to get Jones back in the football game. He's in the shotgun, 2 in the backfield. And takes a low snap. He's going to throw and fires over the middle, and nobody home there. And there comes a flag on Langley.
Nearly knocked down by Tyler Ruck of the Raiders.
And that's another one coming here. There was a late push here in the backfield. A Ram lineman shoved down a defensive lineman for Vancouver Island, took a flag, and then I think had some choice words for the official and took another. Justin, I think this is going to be 30 yards here on Langley going backwards.
2 fouls on the play. Objectional conduct, 52 Rams. Objectional conduct, 75 Rams. Down is 2.
Second down, and this thing is going backwards, 30 yards for 2 objectional on 2 different players here, Justin. And
Landon Summers is one of them, and the other is Dan Magisha.
Yeah, you cannot have that. You cannot have that if you're Langley.
And I was already talking about discipline being an issue late in this quarter that should be addressed by the coaching staff during the break, but it really just underlines the point right there.
So second down and forever here. They got to get to the 50-yard line for a first down. It's second
down, 30 yards to go.
There you go. And 50 seconds to go here in the half. I think you call something pretty conservative here, and if you got to kick the football away, so be it.
Just try and run down the clock as best you can in a situation like this.
And Hunter will hand off to Hassan. He's got some room. Hassan making a cut. He's across the 40 to the 42-yard line, coming up just a little bit short of the first down. But how about it from Cairo? Hassan, who rips off another big one.
Nearly came up with a first, which we were thinking was going to be impossible.
Well, I'll tell you, if big number 66, Lazarakis, can make one little block on the edge there, the guy that got past him came back to make that tackle from behind. Once right there, Lazarakis didn't want to take a block in the back or a holding call, but just couldn't get enough contact on the defender, who comes back upfield to make the tackle there and keep him short of the first down marker by about 8 yards.
And suddenly, if you have to kick this one away, which the Rams likely will on third down, it's not as though you're giving the Raiders outstanding field position with, a little under 40 seconds with which to work.
No, and they call timeout, does Vancouver Island, wisely to preserve some time on the clock, which reads 39 seconds. But they should get the football in pretty decent field position and maybe have time for a couple shots downfield.
Hassan doesn't make that run, though, and it's entirely possible once you kick that ball away. The Raiders are starting their drive from inside Langley territory. I don't think that's going to be the case now, Jake.
No, it's not, as you continue to watch the BCFC on TELUS. Game of the Week brought to you by the BC Lions and eXp Realty, 97 Way Home Real Estate Group in Kelowna, and the Coast to Coast Real Estate team over there in Nanaimo. Need a house, condo, commercial buildings, you name it. 97 Realty, Coast to Coast Realty are your people. Punt team on here for Langley. Aria with time. And gets a high spiraling kick here to the 40. Look out, live football. And we'll get a no yards call here, I believe, will VI. As the original reception dropped here, but Langley a little too close to the
Ball fumbled on the return. Flag on the play.
yeah, just closed
No
the gap
yards.
a little too quickly there.
50 Rams. 15-yard penalty. First down.
I do not have a 68 listed on my roster for the Rams, which is concerning, because that's the guy who just took the penalty. Or did he? If he doesn't exist on the roster, Justin, maybe it didn't happen.
Yeah, I think they have to invalidate the penalty flag then in that case.
29 seconds to go. Ball on the 55.
Right at dead center.
And Chumaluk, pump fake, float it wide open down the far sideline, incomplete. Oh man!
Wow.
They had him. They had him. Riker Pearson, yeah, jinx on you, as meant the pump fake as they faked that outplay again to Gordon and had Pearson streaking down the sideline. Ball maybe just a little underthrown, but Pearson's got to come down with that thing, and if he does, he might still be running. Beautiful call there from the Raiders coaching staff, and just couldn't quite execute the play.
You have to think the Raiders looking for another long bomb once again. They want to find the end zone before this half comes to a close.
And here's Chumaluk on another deep ball, one-on-one out there, and it's well out of bounds and incomplete. And now it's third down. And now what do you do here if you're Vancouver Island? I guess you got to kick this football here, but you're leaving Langley with a little bit of time on the clock as well, as those two plays just took 10 seconds off the clock, and that's it.
Two incomplete passes, of course, will stop the clock every time. If you go for it here, again, that probably leaves about 14 seconds for the Rams to...
they're going to punt this thing.
And that's the right decision.
So is that Klassen back there standing for Langley at around his own 20? Believe it is. Hard to pick up the high snap. It's a fake. And it's incomplete, and man, I don't know about that play call one bit. And then we got some extra stuff after the whistle as well that goes uncalled. But Langley that took 7 seconds off the clock here, as the old Tim Tebow jump pass there just didn't quite work out. And Jason Henderson, the linebacker, trying to complete that on third down, and Jones comes back into the football game here for Langley, and you would expect with 12 seconds left, why not take a couple of shots downfield here? Or maybe you run one timeout, then take a shot downfield. We'll see. Terrell Jones is split high to the high side of the field here in front of the VI bench. Jones will take the snap. All day in the pocket, stands in there, delivers the football high. It's incomplete on an easy pick there, just slipping through the hands of 36 Kaya Saunders, who had a sure interception and just dropped it. You got to make that play right there.
Absolutely. But I think it was the right call on the behalf of the Rams to try and go deep on two separate plays here. Give yourself a pair of shots, even if that first one was nearly picked up.
All right, so expect the Hail Mary now for Jones. France comes to this near side. Two in the slot, and they'll hand off to Hassan, looking for a block on the edge up the far sideline, and If nothing else, he'll tack on to his production so far in this opening half. That now reads triple zeros. The Langley Rams get 2 touchdowns in that opening half and lead the Raiders, who come up empty. 14-0 your score here with 30 minutes to play for McLeod Athletic Park.
But temper starting to flare in the late stages of the half. Discipline certainly an issue, and you have to hope that things will cool down a little bit before that third quarter.
I'm off to the concession stand, Justin. We got, I think, 15 minutes going up on the clock, and we'll be back with some halftime stats. Get you ready for half number 2. As you're watching the BCFC on TELUS, the game of the week brought to you by the BC Lions and eXp Realty 97 Way Home Real Estate Group in Kelowna and the Coast to Coast Real Estate team over in Nanaimo. We'll talk to you for second half action here. The BCFC Game of the Week from McLeod Athletic Park in 15 minutes time. Stick around. All right, football fans, welcome back inside McLeod Athletic Park as we get set for second half action here on BCFC TV. TELUS Game of the Week, 97 Home Realty and Coast to Coast Realty in Nanaimo. Jake Elliott and soon to be joined by Justin Morissette. I thought I was the one that was hungry, but Justin took advantage of the concession. I forgot to kind of do that. Let's look at some first half stats here, shall we? Langley dominating in all facets. In one category they do not want to dominate in, they are, as 15-3 in first downs, 152 yards to 21 along the ground, 126 to 27 in the air. No plays for losses for either teams. Net yards 278 to 48 for the Rams, but check this out. Raiders with 3 penalties for 30 yards. Prepare yourself here, people. I don't get to say this very often. 16 penalties on Langley for 137 yards. That is wild. Rushing 14 carries, 120 in that first half for Hassan. Your key stats in this opening half is we're set for half number 2. Kick it off. Let's play some football. A high spiraling kick down to the 25-yard line, and the return on here for Gordon, who's got some room out to this near sideline. He'll get out past the 45-yard line and tackled right in front of the Rams bench. After a good return there for Vancouver Island, as we'll welcome back Justin Morissette as he swallows down his last bite of his burger and wipes off his grill. How was that? Was it good?
That was delicious.
Okay. It looked pretty good.
Concession really delivers here. Not quite delivers up to the booth. I had to go get it myself.
I'll just have another sip of my water here. Well, half dominated by Langley in all the stat categories here, Justin. They have the 14-0 lead, but this is still a football game here in the BCFC. Nothing decided yet with 30 minutes to play. As a carry on first down for Chuck May goes for a few.
And it could still go the other way for them, of course, Jake, if that one stat category continues to build, and that's penalty yards. Yeah, that was the real story of the final 5 minutes of that second quarter.
And on the flip side of that, if Langley can clean up those penalties a little bit, even half of those, you figure they're going to be in pretty good shape here, because that's over a full football field of penalty yards. I mean, that's like taking a touchdown off the board right there, or giving the other team a touchdown. It really hasn't come back to burn them, but you wonder what the score would be had they not taken that kind of penalty.
Exactly.
Long throw here for Chumuluk, and it's over top of everybody as Comia on the coverage, step for step, with his number 4 counterpart, Bradbrook. And that one falls incomplete. It's another 2 and out here for Vancouver Island.
We did see a pass interference call against the Rams in that opening half as well, and you can see Brox Comia not getting his arms up or anything. He did not want to risk any sort of infraction on that one. Perfectly played, excellent coverage, and that one will go incomplete, out of bounds.
So it's a punting situation once again for the Raiders, who have done a lot of that in that first half. As Chumuluk just 5 for 13 in that opening half. Pretty good opening half there for Jones, as almost a near block, and we'll get a whistle. As did Langley jump the snap count a little bit too early, but Trey Jones 8 for 14, 126 yards and a touchdown in there. No interceptions for the Rams pivot. Is, I would say, probably his best half of football so far this season.
Jason Henderson of the Raiders looking a little bit shaken up on that kick block attempt.
Procedure, VI, 5-yard penalty, repeat, third down.
And it was a procedure call on Vancouver Island, which will back him up 5 yards. And they'll make him kick it again, as it is Klassen back deep here for Langley, standing around his own 35-yard line.
See if they can get in to block it again.
No pressure coming this time, but a very short kick, as it bounces right down on the sideline.
The 38, it looks like.
Well, good eyes there, Justin. Right on the 38-yard line.
That one was a lot easier to judge. Sometimes they come down about 10 feet away from the line. That one basically went right out of bounds at the spot it came down at.
Fair enough. So Langley with their first drive of the second half. I'm not going to lie, Justin, I got a corner of my eye on the Junior A Minto Cup Championships that are going on back in Brampton, Ontario right now. Game 1 of the Minto Cup Finals happening as we speak, as the Whitby Warriors lead the Miners of Edmonton 10-7 in the third period. As Hassan gets his first carry, and he'll be wrapped up right near the line of scrimmage for no gain.
And that's not something we saw very often in the first half of this game, Jake, is pretty well every single time the ball was in the hands of Cairo Hassan, he was picking up at least 5 yards on the carry. This time stopped up right at the line of scrimmage, no gain whatsoever, 2nd and 10.
And we do have an injured Raider down on the turf. It looks like he's just about ready to get back to his feet here. Just trying to pick it up. Is that 93 that's down there? I think a bit of a stinger the way he's trying to shake out his hand here.
I believe it is Declan Robbins. That would be number 93. Your eyes do not deceive you, Jake.
I think he'll be okay after a brief spell on the sideline. I don't know if you ever had a stinger before, Justin, but they kind of freak you out when it happens because it's like a weird feeling to get one of those. You hit the neck nerve and things go down your arm and you're thinking, whoa, what is, and then it just kind of subsides and goes away. But when it initially happens, it kind of freaks you out.
It's been a good many years since I have suffered one of those, about 22 years removed from my playing days now, Jake.
We can change that pretty quickly up here in the broadcast booth. There's Ari on a catch as he tries to fight for a first down, gets hammered out of bounds about a yard short here. And an interesting spot on the field here for Langley. Again, I go back to Howie's Aaron, the former head coach here from Langley, who I think will be back in due time for the Rams. But this is a 3rd and 1 here, and I don't think there would be any hesitation to go for this on 3rd down. Corey Philpott, on the other hand, we'll see what he wants to do. And it looks like he's going to keep his offense out there. They're on their own side of the 50 here. It's a 3rd and 1.
I know we just saw him stopped up at the line, but I would say you got to trust Cairo Hassan to pick up at least 1 yard.
He stands in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. It is Hassan as he stretches out. I don't know. Raiders think they stop him, and I think they did too.
I think they did as well. In fact, I believe they may have brought him down for a loss. I'm not sure he even made his way back to the line of scrimmage.
And I just kind of wonder, they were into the backfield there pretty quickly. Up 14, you're on your home. I might have kicked that football personally, but if you are going to run it, I didn't like the fact that they not only started the play in the shotgun, so that ball's going back 4 or 5 yards right off the line of scrimmage, but then Hassan didn't really stick to what he has been good at, and that's running straight forward. He tried to kind of bounce that thing to the outside, and the Raiders were able to track him down.
Looking for that left side sweep, and now it's Raider football.
Chamalak 1st and 10, slings one out there, but didn't quite get the good spin, and I think Cole Barron might have got a paw in there to disrupt that pass. We'll have to watch it again here on the replay. BCFC Game of the Week, courtesy of TELUS.
That was well short of even the defensive player Drew Cushway, who had no opportunity to come up with any sort of interception on that play.
Yeah, he didn't make contact with the hand, but I'm wondering if he made contact with the football, because the accuracy there for Chamalak usually much better, and that leads me to believe that that ball was deflected on the release. 2nd and 10 now from the 47-yard line. Raiders still in the sunshine as the shadows creep towards the near hash mark. A little floater over the top, completion made, but short of the marker. As he'll step out of bounds at the 40, and he'll be about 3 yards short here on 3rd down. I don't think there's any question the Raiders will go for it here.
And we were a little bit worried about those dark clouds on the horizon earlier, Jake, or I was anyways. Looks like it might be raining on Highway 1 right now, but we are still in the sunshine here at McLeod Athletic Park. A beautiful day for football.
I honestly, I don't think it could not matter what is around here. Like when it's football time at McLeod, the weather usually cooperates.
And we got a good look at it there on the screen just moments ago. A picturesque day here in the township of Langley.
We'll look at Rams Nation as well, as you see the shadows right near the hash marks on the near side of the field here. Third down, handoff up the middle, and it'll be that and more here for Vancouver Island as they'll plow it inside the 25-yard line. Good play there on third down as Riker Pearson moves the sticks for the Raiders.
As the Rams not able to come up with 1 yard on their third down situation moments ago, the Raiders getting a lot more than one on third down from Riker Pearson.
Dragging Klassen and DeJong with them up the field. Ball in the 25 in between the hash marks. And this is as close as the Raiders have been to the Rams end zone all game long. Chomaluk looks left, pump fakes, looks for the fade into the end zone. Got a man there. Oh, a recovery at the last second and knocked that one away by Comia. As that was surely a touchdown to Pye, but Comia closed the gap in time as he knocks it away at the last second.
What an incredible defensive play from Brox Comia. Let's take another look at it here. As he did not even have to turn around to see that ball coming. He just saw the receiver with his arms up and was able to punch it straight out of the air to make sure that one fell incomplete.
Bit of a desperation play. It works out as Dane Campbell will mark up this time on Andre Gordon on this near boundary. Big 2nd and 10 now for the Raiders as Chomaluk will roll out to his right. Looking downfield, still trying to find a receiver, and he'll run out of time and real estate as he goes down inside the 25-yard line after about a 2-yard gain. It'll be third down and about 7 to go. And I think they're bringing out the field goal team here for the Raiders.
And I'm still stuck on that last play, Jake. It was like Brox Comia had eyes in the back of his head. His timing could not have been any more perfect. But another big stop from the Rams on second down.
So they'll spot the tee about 7 yards back from the line of scrimmage, which is the 30-yard line. So this should be in range here. And is it Pearson that will handle the kick here? It's Sterling Henry, excuse me, and he puts it up and through. Points on the board here for the Raiders after the third down turnover from Langley. Vancouver Island have able to pick up a couple of first downs, get themselves within field goal range, and now they have themselves within 11 points with a made field goal from 30 yards out from Sterling Henry. And with 8:55 here to go in the third quarter, it's an 11-point football game.
We would have been looking at a Vancouver Island Raiders touchdown, though, if not for the supreme awareness of Brox Comia.
So Langley will get the football back here as they put 2 back on the return. And again, the opening half essentially dominated by Langley, but only manufacturing 2 scores. And now the Raiders come out, put some points up here in the third quarter, and they're right in this football game, just down 11.
You can see the Raiders have made some adjustments.
Onside kick, you had a feeling. And this is a live football brought in and nicely done there by Dawson Morin, who was very aware as that you just kind of knew. You know, you got VI is going to have to try and do some things, you know, whether it be a turnover, a pick, or a fumble recovery, or an onside kick, or a fake punt. They're going to have to try some things here today against Langley to try and get themselves up the board in the score total here. And, you know, say what you want. Maybe that's the right time, not the right time to try it, but pretty well executed there. And that football could have ended up anywhere off the onside kick. 33-yard line, low snap, look out. Jones does the right thing and just falls on top of that. And the Rams will go backwards on first down and look at a 2nd and long after a bad snap from the line of scrimmage.
Talked about adjustments on that kick there from the Raiders that have been working for them so far. And on the flip side, it looks like the Rams coming unglued a little bit here in the second half. Things not going their way after their offense had some great rhythm in the first and second quarter.
Well, what do you do now on a 2nd down at 15? Deep in your own zone here from the 28-yard line. They got 2 in the backfield, 3 to this near wide side, 1 up top. And It's not, yeah, it is Jones in there, excuse me, as he'll load up a deep ball over the middle, and it's complete. What a throw and catch. Beckham Dickey, he needed 15, he picks up 16, and that'll move the sticks for the Rams, and that is a heck of a throw there for Jones, and an even better catch from Dickey.
And Beckham Dickey now up to 3 or 4 grabs so far this afternoon. Not a single one of them has come easy, Jake. He has taken throws into coverage and big-time punishment every time he comes up with the ball. But come up with the ball he does, time and time again.
That's a deep ball over the middle. It didn't come too late in the pattern, and I think that was the key. But Dickey had to hang in there, and Jones had to believe in himself to make that catch. Wheeler chopped down right at the line of scrimmage as somebody got in the backfield in a hurry there for the Raiders. Let's watch it again here. A huge block out on the edge there from DeJong as well.
Looked like number 39, Ferdinand Samda of the Raiders, the man who just bypassed the offensive line like it wasn't even there.
Well, they converted on 2nd and 15 last time. They're staring at a 2nd and 11 now. Got to get to the 55 for a first down. They're on the 44. Here's the snap. Jones looks, fires, France brings it in, trying to drag a defender as he goes down. He'll be a yard short, and decision time here for Coach Philpott again, who came up empty on the last 3rd and 1, and will have another one here right near the midfield stripe.
And no surrender in France, as he just wanted to keep pumping those legs and come up with a first down.
You just went there with France and no surrender. That is cheap right there, Morissette.
I'm a Frenchman myself. Okay, I'm allowed to do it.
That's fair. It's 3rd and 1. And again, out of the shotgun, they hand it to the up man, DeJong, and I think he's short again.
As the Raiders certainly
now
celebrating.
Now a flag comes in late here as well.
The Raiders certainly celebrating like they made the stop, but we'll wait and see where they spot this one, and then of course there's the flag on top of that.
This can be a real interesting call, as there was a lot going on in the pile down there. The Raiders think this is their
flag
football.
on the plate,
and I think it might be as well. They are in fact short of the first down. I don't think there's any question about that, but it's the late flag coming in. That is the question, as we have an injured Ram down on a knee as well. We'll just have to await the penalty call here, as I think they may have to redo it on 3rd down regardless, as they flip the sticks here and say first down Vancouver Island.
After the play, unnecessary roughness, 95 VI, 15-yard penalty. It's first down.
So it is a first down for Vancouver Island, but they'll start at 15 yards back after the personal fouls. You watch it, DeJong on the up back, and he got chopped down pretty quickly there from Jason Anderson. And there is the late penalty from number 95.
Braden Charette is the man who takes that infraction.
Sounds like another Frenchman, Justin. You guys, you know?
No, I don't.
Okay. I couldn't resist, I'm sorry. So, 11-point football game, 5:48 here to go, 3rd quarter. And Vancouver Island with the football on their own 41-yard line. Here comes Barron up the gut looking to blitz. It's picked up. Chomalak throws over the middle. Completion made. Out to the 55 and call it the 54 of Langley. As Marin Bradbrook with the completion. Pretty nice delivery there from Chomalak as well. And they just kind of look like 2 different football teams coming out here in the second half.
It's like a Freaky Friday situation, Jake. They've done a little bit of a body swap, as this is the way this game started essentially, but the shoes were on the other foot. 2 and outs for the Raiders, and the Rams offense was rolling. Now it's the Raiders offense rolling, and some 2 and outs for the Rams.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the only turnovers we've seen today have been on 3rd down, as we'll get an offside here on Vancouver Island.
I will make one correction. There was that huge interception.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much.
That I believe was made by Dane Campbell. But that big run from Campbell after he made the grab was invalidated by the first of those big penalty flags to end the half.
My man Patrick let me down here on the stats. Usually he adds turnovers to his halftime stats for me. He left him off this week. I don't know what's going on over there.
So it's a
first down. 5-yard penalty here on Vancouver Island for an offside. So it goes from a 1st and 10 to a 1st and 15 now. After the big play there from Bradbrook to pick up the first down to midfield strength, they'll back it up to the 50.
They're still having a bit of a discussion, though, at the 50. As the officials finally break, and we'll get back underway. 1st and 15.
Right on the township flag, just inside the right hash mark, as Chumalik barks out the signals, takes the snap, 3-step drop. He'll deliver. It's almost picked off.
Drew Cushway, he would have been off to the races. Absolutely nobody in front of him the whole way to the end zone. But able to knock it down just the same.
He is still on his feet to the end. Watch this. He'll be having nightmares about that all week long. 2nd down and 15 after the dropped potential interception.
And Chumlock's going to have to be looking for the long ball once again, which could create another potential interception situation.
Well, we saw Langley bring the blitz on the last opportunity they had in this situation. We'll see if they drop back in extra coverage for this one. A little option pitch. And pretty good tackling there from Langley to cut down LeChuck May after a decent gain.
The 53 on the Langley side of the field.
No hesitation from Vizia to bring out the punt team here, but if you're Langley again, I would be wary of the fake punt in this situation.
We've already seen it once today.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're going to do it right in the middle of the field, but again, you want to try and do it when the team is not expecting it, and I think Langley has to be expecting it in this scenario.
Especially after that onside kick not that long ago as well.
Only down 11, lots of football left, and they'll punt this one away. It's high, and Klassen will be able to play it at his own 16. And a flag comes in again as Klassen tackled, well, a yard out of bounds there. But let's check the laundry once again that lays back at the 17-yard line here of Langley. There's an actual flag down at the 19 as well.
Joel Klassen really has not been able to have too many kick returns today, as most of the punts from the Raiders have gone straight out of bounds.
No, special teams have been good here for Vancouver Island, I would say, today. As they talk it over here, as the Shadows almost halfway across the field now. Here's the call.
Illegal block, 20 Rams, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Does the official sound short of breath, or is that just me?
No, he definitely was a little bit gassed on that one.
I don't know what I'd be like if I was running up and down the football field as a referee either, but. So they'll start this drive inside their own 10 here, mark it down at the 8. Long field ahead of the Rams here. 4-man front for the Raiders. It's a pitch. It's Hassan as he'll protect that football. Trying to barrel over him, and another flag comes in. And it's just one after the other here. I never should have mentioned anything about how the penalty calls had been cleaned up here, because since that time, it has been a laundry fest here against the Rams.
Well, I don't know.
52 Rams, half the distance, repeat, 1st down.
I don't know that that's entirely the fault of the officials, of course, Jake.
No, not
the Rams really not giving them any options on a lot of these calls.
Yeah, and you know what? Landon Summers taking another penalty here for Langley, and I don't want to pin it all on one guy, but I think he's been pretty responsible for a good portion of the penalty yards against Langley here today.
Certainly in the tail end of this first half, he was one of two guys that was getting very undisciplined in the late stages of the second quarter.
Has to get out to the 18-yard line here for a 1st down, as they will snap it to Jones standing on his own goal line as he hands off to Hassan running left. And he'll get out past the 5 to about the 8-yard line here, and it'll be a 2nd down and long on Langley as we go under 3 minutes to go here in this 3rd quarter.
And I suppose the run, kind of an unexpected play call there, so you might find more room to cut up field than you might think, but
I don't even know if it is.
when you're that deep, you kind of have to go to the pass, don't you? Like,
I don't know if you do in this situation. Up 11, you got bad field position, you're right on your own goal line here. I might keep this thing on the ground again and trust your defense and kick the football away if you don't pick it up. Let's see what they call as Jones will wave his receivers ahead. He will throw on second down. Looks over the middle, and it's incomplete through the hands of France as it falls harmlessly to the turf, as that ball just a little bit behind Alex France, who was unable to bring it in.
diving effort from France to try and get back into position to come up with that ball, but just saw it slide right through his grasp. And that'll bring up third down. The Rams bringing out the kicking crew.
And now what do you do here, Justin? Do you just take the knee, take the safety, make it a 9-point game, which is still a 2-score game? I think that's the key right there. 9 points, still 2 scores. You take a knee and you kick this football, or you take the safety and kick it away. And that's exactly what they'll do. A little dancing around there for Uria in the end zone, but eventually will go down on a knee. And we got 1:59 here to go in the third quarter. We suddenly have a 9-point football game, and the Raiders are getting the football back here.
Things starting to look a lot closer between these two teams than it did back in the first half.
So it's a free kick here from the 35, I believe.
And after surrendering the safety, Langley having to put the ball right back into the hands of the Raiders, who are still looking for their first touchdown of the day.
They will elect to place kick it there. I think they have the option to either punt or place kick, and Uria preferring the kick from the tee. And he'll send it deep. End over end. Going back for it at his own 25. And heading upfield here with some speed. Rams will gang tackle at the 35-yard line, but decent field position. Yes, pretty good return there from Andre Gordon, who has been prominent for the Raiders here today.
One of their top receivers in this game, no question about it. And he was hard to take off his feet there.
Oh, this is a big possession here, I think, for both teams, Justin. You know, the Rams defensively, who really need to kind of come up with a stop and give their offense decent field position to start their next drive. And for the Raiders, if they can get something going here offensively, are going to start to feel the confidence rise up here and feel pretty good about themselves. As they fake the handoff there, and the Rams will stuff it. Look out, a little pushy shovey after the whistle, and here comes another flag.
More laundry on the field from the officials. That has been the story basically from about the 13-minute mark of the second quarter.
And it's honestly, it's just so unnecessary, the penalties that Langley are taking in this situation.
Rams, 15-yard penalty, first down.
The play was over. You made a great defensive stand, and you decided to give a guy one extra little shot. And like I'll say this, the Raiders gave it right back. So I think if you're going to do anything, you penalize both teams in that scenario. But just don't put yourself in that position where you're going to hurt your team. So it's 15 yards here on Langley for a personal foul. And that, you know, like there's been some undisputable penalties, Justin, I would say today on Langley, like ones you just cannot question. That one there, I think you don't call anything. It is a physical game and emotions are running high, and it wasn't like he threw a punch or anything. He gave him a little push in the shoulder pad at the end of the play, and I just, you know, that's a ticky-tack penalty that you just do not need to call. But now it's good field position here for the Raiders from the 53. And Chumalock will look to throw. He looks for the deep ball again for Gordon, looking back to the football. And dropped it at the last second in double coverage as Campbell and Comia converged on Gordon. But a well-thrown ball here from Chumalock, who put it in a spot where Gordon was able to try and make a play.
And Andre Gordon, the favored target, once again for Ben Chumalock. Nearly came up with it. But a nice job from Dane Campbell.
Clock starts to run again as we approach 60 seconds here to go in the third quarter. 14-5 Rams. Raiders on the move, approaching midfield. 2nd and 10 now for Chumalock on the rollout. Looking downfield, throws one, and it's dropped again. As Gordon had his hands on it and just couldn't secure the football, and now it's 3rd and 10.
Dane Campbell right there again.
That's a tough throw for Chumalock, coming across his body. And he put that football in the perfect spot for Gordon, who just didn't make a play for his quarterback. And Langley, I think, dodging a bullet right there. We talked about that drive, getting something going. Langley helping out the Raiders, getting a personal foul, giving them a free 15 yards. But eventually, they come up with the stop, or maybe the Raiders kind of stopped themselves on that drive.
We just saw Dane Campbell making his way over to the sidelines on the screen moments ago. 2 plays in a row. He's a big reason why this is a situation where the Raiders are going to have to kick this ball away, you would think, in a 3rd and 10. And I was just thinking to myself, Jake, that he's filled some pretty big shoes, because that is the area that Kyle Clarat used to fill on this field.
Is, yeah. And man, oh man, do they ever miss Kyle Clarat here in Langley. And you do not replace a guy like that. Of course, Javon Katoy, another former Ram, starring for the BC Lions now.
Saw him, of course, last night at BC Place.
Man, watching Javon Katoy in his year here with Langley, he was a guy where you just looked at him and you knew right from first glance this guy was going on to the next level in a hurry. Just a man against boys back there, and now he's a man against men in the CFL, and he's not looking out. He's only going to get better and better and better as Katoy.
Not out of place at all in the Canadian League.
52 seconds to go here in the third as the Raiders line up to punt. Klassen the lone returner. They will kick it. It's high and short. Get away from that football as it goes out of bounds at the 41-yard line. And Justin, that will do it for me here. We got 44 seconds to go in the quarter. I was trying to ride it out for you, but I've stretched myself to the limits here. Langley leading 14-5. I will turn the rest of the football game over here to one Justin Morissette to bring you home here from McLeod Athletic Park. Enjoy next week with my man Warren Andrews riding shotgun to you. Appreciate everybody tuned in here to the broadcast today on BCFC TV. On TELUS, brought to you by 97 Homeway Realty and Coast to Coast Realty in Nanaimo. As I'll stick around for the third quarter here. Why not? If I'm late, I'm late.
One more play.
Here's Hassan on the carry on the pitch from Jones, and he gets rocked in the backfield and just gets back to the line of scrimmage. As it'll be 2nd down and 10 here for the Rams as, time ticking here. I'll run it out for the third quarter. I'm sitting there reading the rest. I'm like, what are you looking at right now? So 2nd and 10 now for Langley, as they try and get something going here in this second half. And Jones will try and throw over the middle. Look out. That thing sailed on him and sails incomplete. And that's a quick possession there on Langley. Will have to give the football back to the Raiders.
Not sure exactly who Trey Jones was looking for on that one. As of course, Arya is up the field, but was well ahead of where that ball came down.
All right, folks, 45 minutes in the books, 15 here to go from Langley. Justin Morissette will take you the rest of the way. Appreciate everybody tuned in, and we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks from now. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Sounds good, Jake. Enjoy your lacrosse this evening, and of course next week as well. As the Rams likely to have to kick this one away now. Teams switching directions on the field, of course, at the end of the third quarter. 3rd and 8.
Again, folks, getting close. Your last chance for 50-50.
3rd and 10, rather. The yardstick was in the wrong place there. Punting crew gonna send this one down the field for the Rams momentarily. Aria really didn't have to move very far from where he was as a receiver to where he's going to take this snap as the kicker. And if the Rams offense had a pretty solid rhythm going back in the first half, it has not materialized so far in the second half of this game. A third quarter to forget for Langley. But they still have a 9-point lead on the board with 15 minutes left to play, and the clock is underway for 3rd down. Aria with a kick that is going to bounce to about the 37 or so before it's pushed out of bounds in the hands of that was number 82, Paul Romanoff, for the Raiders. First down for VI. They're going to start this drive from their own 45. Trailing by 9 here with just under 15 minutes to play. They're going to try to run this one right up the gut, but the Langley defense is going to stop it after a pickup of about 6 or so. We'll see where they ultimately spot this ball. The officials going to call it a gain of 6.5. Just shy of the 52-yard line, still inside the Raiders side of the field.
2nd down.
2nd and 4. Ben Chomilok's offense has found its rhythm here in the second half of this game, and that's a big pass complete along the left sideline. That'll move the sticks. Andre Gordon with another big grab for the Raiders offense to keep this drive moving downfield. Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 from the Langley 50. One touchdown for the Raiders would pull them within 2. Heck, they could even go for a 2-point convert and make it a 1-point game perhaps. But they have to reach the end zone first, and Chomilok is picked off. He was looking to go right down the middle, and instead it's Howard Zhao able to make a big-time interception and turn the tides for the Rams. Wow. Take another look at it. Howard Zhao in the right place at the right time.
Rams interception by
before he was hauled down by Marin Bradbrook for the Raiders. Bradbrook making sure that play did not go any further than the VI 52-yard line, and that is exactly where the Rams will begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Let's fucking go, baby. Come on.
Trey Jones right above center as he takes the snap and will hand the ball off for a run up the middle from who else but Cairo Hassan, who has been the heartbeat of this Langley offense all afternoon long, and no difference right there.
Right up the middle for a gain of 6.
Pickup of 6 for Cairo Hassan at that one. On that one will bring up 2nd and 4 yards to go to move the sticks again. Do they put it right back into the hands of Cairo Hassan and try and help him find his rhythm? No. False start as the offense moves before the ball is snapped. I believe this one's going to be assessed against number 66 for the Rams, and that's big Nikos Lazarakis.
5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Still 2nd down, but 5-yard penalty on the board will walk the Rams back into 2nd and 8. And that's a tough break after a great carry from Cairo Hassan. Trey Jones going to be looking skyward. You have to think in a second and long situation. He's deep in the pocket as he takes this snap. Steps back and the ball is loose in the backfield, and it's the Raiders that come up with the ball. A fumble recovery, I believe. Number 39, Ferdinand Samda, the man to come up with the ball on this one. As Jones was looking to throw and he just lost control of the ball as he pulled it back. Wasn't touched by anyone. Take another look at this one. Just lost his handle on the football. And Ferdinand Samda of the Raiders comes up with the loose ball. Suddenly it's a VI drive that begins on the 46. And first down for the Raiders on this drive does not go the way they might have liked. It's brought down for a loss as we take another look at it. They tried to go for a run up the middle, and the Rams defense was all over that. 2nd and 12. Ben Chomelak going to have to look to the sky more than likely. Andre Gordon has been his favorite target all afternoon long, and he's come up with some big grabs here in the second half. We'll see what VI elects to do on this one. 2nd and 12. Chomelak peels out to the right side. Pass is complete along the sideline, but it's short of the first down as the receiver pushed out of bounds. It's Hayden Day for VI, number 83. Came up with the grab and was just popped into the sideline immediately. 3rd and 3 at the 39. And the offense will stay on the field for the Raiders. They're risking it. And why not? When you're down by 9, a little over 10 minutes to go, can they come up with the first down? No, they cannot. And the ball is taken by the Rams all the way back down the field. Incredible stuff for Dawson Morin. Dawson Morin with a defensive touchdown. And the Rams stretch the lead. Morin able to come up with the strip and run that ball all the way downfield. What a huge play at a time where it looked like momentum was entirely in favor of the Raiders. Morin turns the tide with what is easily the best play the Rams have come up with here in the second half. A 74-yard carry downfield for Morin. Incredible. As he basks in the adulation of his teammates and coaches along the sidelines. What a huge play that was. And the point after is good as well. What a massive swing. As it looked like the Raiders were on the cusp of perhaps finding the end zone for the first time all afternoon. Instead, it is a 16-point lead on the board for the home team. The Rams looking for their first win at McLeod Athletic Park so far this season. Wow. Tato Ferreira Aria will kick this one away as the Rams sideline breathing a little bit easier now after that defensive score. And a huge kick for Aria, gathered in at the 5. Andre Gordon cuts into the middle. It's another loose ball. The Rams with a second consecutive turnover, I do believe. We'll wait and see what the officials have to say, but I believe that ball was still live.
Raiders fumble recovered by number 17, Gabriel Fenelon. Flag on
Gabriel Fenelon able to come up with the loose ball. The offense struggling for Langley here in the second half. The defense says, don't worry about it. We got this thing.
Just holding VI. That penalty is declined.
That fumble forced by number 32, Luke Glenn of the Rams, before it was picked up by Gabriel Fenelon. And Langley will begin this drive from inside the red zone. It's 1st and 10 from the 15. Wow. So after that last turnover, the Rams making a change at quarterback. It's Hunter Norman in the pocket now in place of Trey Jones. Norman with the handoff on first down and a pickup of about 3 on the carry. 2nd and 7. As off the sideline comes Braden Van Meehan to rejoin the offense. And that'll send Caleb Wheeler over to the Langley bench. Hunter Norman set to take the snap, 2nd and 7 inside the red zone. And he will pass. Norman fakes the pass, pump fake. He's wrapped up for a sack, and who else but the man who's been causing trouble in the backfield in this second half for the Raiders, number 39, Ferdinand Somda. Norman was looking to the left side, just was not able to get the pass away in time, and the pressure of Somda was too much to overcome. 2-yard loss on that sack will bring up 3rd and 9. And the Rams will send the kicking crew out looking for a field goal to stretch their lead to 19. If Aria can hit this one, which is going to be teed up at about the 22. Very makeable kick. It's up, and it is good. 24 points up on the board now for the Langley Rams. And it is the defense largely doing the damage here in the 4th quarter. 2 very impressive defensive plays on back-to-back possessions, halting what had been some wonderful momentum, really, for the Vancouver Island Raiders, who looked like they were turning this thing around here in the second half. Justin Morissette with you from McLeod Athletic Park. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the BCFC on TELUS Game of the Week. It's brought to you by the BC Lions and eXp Realty, 97 Way Home Real Estate Group in Kelowna, and the Coast to Coast Real Estate team in Nanaimo. Thank you so much from wherever you happen to be watching this one from. As the Raiders begin a new drive, and the Rams having a hard time stopping this play. Looked like they were going to make the tackle a number of different times on Chomaluk, but he was able to stay on his feet. He just couldn't go anywhere with the ball.
Number 60, Christopher Moon with the tackle for loss. Right on play.
Christopher Moon ultimately making the tackle, but there is a flag on the play. We'll hear the explanation from the official.
Unnecessary roughness, face mask, 21 Rams, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
It's a face masking call against number 21. That's Colton DeJong. 15 yards, automatic 1st down after a big stop by the Rams defense, and that has been the tale of this game really since about 2 or 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Discipline has been an issue for Langley, and another penalty flag here yet again. Face masking the call this time. which gives Chamaluk a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 from his own 49. Chamaluk takes the snap, will hand off the ball into the hands of Kobe Lachuk-May, and he'll come up with about 6 yards on the carry before he's brought down. Drew Cushway able to make the stop before that play went any further. But another discussion amongst the officials because there's a flag way in the backfield. I didn't even notice it.
First down.
Cushway called for a horse collar tackle. Another 15-yard penalty, and the officials have marched this ball 30 yards downfield just on this Raiders drive alone. Not sure I agree with that one. Not even a little bit. As Chamaluk will roll out of the pocket to the left side, feeling the pressure coming, will run the ball himself, and there's yet another flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
As Chamaluk lowered his shoulder into the contact there before he hit the sideline. And we'll wait the explanation.
Illegal contact, 14 Rams, 10-yard penalty, result first down.
Dane Campbell called for illegal contact. And another big penalty flag will bring up another first down for the VI Raiders, who are now 1st and 10 from the 30. 40 yards in penalties against the Rams just on this drive alone. And we've got an injury on the field right now. There's a Langley Ram who is having a hard time getting off of his knees. And that looks like number 49, Big Luca Brown. Brown gets back to his feet and will make his way over to his own sideline on his own volition, and that's great to see. Hopefully just shaken up a little bit. Will catch his breath on the sideline and make his way back out into this game before too long. But he heads straight to the Rebound Clinic rehab tent. But it's 2nd and 2 from the 22. Raiders are rolling thanks to a big-time assist from the officials on this drive. Chamaluk puts the ball in the air, pass complete. Brought down at the 10. And who else but number 12, Andre Gordon, with another big catch for this Raiders offense. VI now down by 19 points with 6 minutes and 15 seconds remaining on the clock. As we take another look at it, Chamaluk with the pass to Gordon, who tries to cut back into the middle and runs into a pair of Rams, but it's number 23, Dennis Moses, who will haul him down for the stop. Take another look at first down here. They hand the ball off up the middle for a gain of 5. That'll bring up 2nd and 5 from the 6. So this is not a 2nd and goal situation. If they can get to the 1-yard line, the Raiders would get a fresh set of downs, and that would be trouble for the Rams as they look to make a big stop deep in their own zone. Chumalock looking to the end zone perhaps. The pass is away and it is complete, but is it a touchdown? They're going to say he was downed on the 1. But is that a first down? No, they're going to say it's short of the first as well. Oh, no, that is a 1st and goal. First and goal from the 1. VI only needed to come up with 1 yard here, and they will do it. QB sneak. Ben Chumalock calls his own number and finds the end zone for the Raiders' first touchdown of the day. But of course, as has been the story all afternoon long, especially here in the second half, yet another flag on the field. See what the
play. Unnecessary roughness, 7-7 VI. Touchdown is good. That penalty will be applied on the kickoff.
Unnecessary roughness assessed this time against the Raiders, number 77, Parker Friesen. The touchdown does count, as you heard from the official there. His penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. As the Raiders going to go for a 2-point convert here as they trail by 13. Chumalock looking to the end zone. Complete. Dylan Pye will make the catch. And that will pull VI within 11 points. 24-13 with 4.5 minutes to go. You know what they say about Canadian football? It's never over until it's over, folks. Anything can happen in the late stages.
A very quick reminder, you guys, that concession has limited burgers.
4:32 remaining. And that penalty on the touchdown going to walk this kick back a little bit. The Raiders set up the tee on their own 30. Joel Klassen and Ryan Gozen back to pick up this kick, unless, of course, the Raiders go for an onside, which they very well might. And indeed they do. It is immediately picked up by Logan Curley of the Rams. And as a result of that onside attempt, the Rams going to start this one with excellent field position inside enemy territory already. It's 1st and 10 from the 47.
The winning ticket is C1028. C1028.
Hunter Norman in at quarterback on this drive as well. Norman takes the snap, will hand the ball off. And still in play. As Cairo Hassan was tough to take off his feet on that one. See where they spot this ball, but I believe that's a pickup of 5 yet again. No, they're going to call it 4 this time. They'll bring up 2nd and 6, but we've got an injured Raider on the play. One man looking to be in some discomfort on the Township of Langley flag at center field. That's big number 95, Braden Charrett, or Charrette, having a hard time getting back to his feet. just under 4 minutes remaining in this game. 3:59 remaining up on the clock. As Charette back on his feet now and will make his way back over to the VI sideline. Hunter Norman in I formation. Set to take the snap. 2nd and 7. Norman fakes the handoff. Will spin out to the left side and run the ball himself. Pick up a first down and then some. Pushed out at the 29. And a nice carry from the quarterback. We'll take another look at it. A 14-yard carry for the Langley Rams quarterback. Came into this game in the second half after a tough turnover for Trey Jones. Norman. Looked to the wrong side on that handoff. A little out of sorts as he put the ball in the hands of Cairo Hassan, but Hassan taken down behind the line of scrimmage in the backfield. As the quarterback looking a little bit out of sorts on that one, but not a big loss for the Rams. About 1.5 yards. We'll call it 2nd and 12. Less than 3 minutes remaining in the game. Norman takes a snap, looking to pass. Will peel out to the left side. He's thinking about running it, but no, he'll put the ball in the air, and it was nearly intercepted. Sean Adams able to get his mitts on it for the VI Raiders, but instead he'll punch it into the air, and that one will fall harmlessly incomplete into the end zone. We'll take another look at it here. Norman looking deep downfield. Was hoping to connect with Terrell Jones. Jones already has a huge receiving touchdown already in this game. And that'll bring up 3rd down for the Rams with 2:30 on the clock. They're going to look for the field goal as Aria set to kick this one away from the left hash mark at the 38. It's up. And it is wide to the right. But the Raiders still have to run it out to avoid the Rouge, and they will do just that. Forced out along the left sideline. At the 14-yard line, which is where the Raiders will begin this next drive. With 125 seconds remaining in the game. VI trailing by 11 points. Looked like he was out at the 14 anyways. They're going to spot this at the 20. So of course, that's where they spot it. When you run it out of the end zone to dodge the Rouge. Thank you, Patrick. And a big sack for the Rams on this one. Colton DeJong with the sack for a loss, and a big loss at that. This ball's going to come way back. With flags on the play as well. Still waiting on an explanation from the officials as to what this flag is all about. But it looks like it's going to be a 2nd and 20 from the 10 after this big sack for Colton DeJong.
Blocking below the waist, number 60, VI. That's a 15-yard penalty, and it's down 2.
Blocking below the waist is the call. Spencer Newens, number 60, assessed a 15-yard penalty for blocking below the waist. Chamalak gets the ball away from inside his own end zone, and that ball knocked down, but a flag on the play for pass interference, it looks like. Dylan Pye not able to make that grab. We'll take another look at it on the replay right now on BCFC TV.
Number 5, Joe.
Chamalak with the pass, looking for Pye down the middle. And they're going to say he was interfered with by Brox Comia as we take yet another look at it. There's the pass from inside his own end zone. And I don't know that Comia did anything on that play. It looked like Pye just ran right into his man, and flag on the field because, hey, why not? That's been the story of this game. May as well add another one. Batted ball for Cole Barron will stop that pass from finding its intended receiver.
Number 44, Cole Barron, knocked down.
And so much for that pass interference. They didn't wind up calling it in the end. Ball still on the 16-yard line inside VI territory. Raiders take the snap. Chamalak faked the handoff, but couldn't get the kind of spin he wanted.
Pass
on that
attempt
ball.
incomplete. That'll be 3rd down Raiders.
Was looking to connect with number 93, Declan Robbins, but that one hits the turf incomplete and will bring up 3rd down. Punting team now out on the field. .97 seconds remaining in this game. It's been a penalty fest here in the second half. But the Rams still with an 11-point lead, 24-13, as this kick will sail out of bounds at about the 34. So Langley deep inside enemy territory to begin this drive. Don't have too far to go. First and 10 from the 35. And it's Hunter Norman continuing to call plays at quarterback.
16 plus 8, 24 penalties.
As the latest count has 24 penalties against the Rams in this game, totaling 230 yards against. Staggering numbers. Norman will roll out of the pocket out to the left side and is going to run it himself, but the ball springs loose. Recovered by number 23 for the Raiders. That's Blake Johnson, who hopped on the loose ball. Fumble recovery, and suddenly VI with another set of downs to look downfield. 81 seconds on the clock. This game ain't over yet, ladies and gentlemen. A forced fumble as Hunter Norman has it stripped right out of his hands. And Blake Johnson able to come up with the ball before he's tackled by Cairo Hassan. So 1st and 10 Raiders from their own 35. Chumalock looking downfield. He'll elect to run it this time. Looking out to the left sideline. He'll run out of bounds just shy of the 50. That will move the sticks, and a fresh set of downs for the Raiders with 69 seconds left on the clock. Nice run from Chumalock on that one. First and 10 for VI from their own 47-yard line. As we have a injured Rams player shaken up on the field right now. And that's number 44, Cole Barron. He is a pivotal player on both sides of the ball, as we've seen him taking blocks in the backfield on offense throughout this game as well. And you have to hope it's just a little bit of fatigue given how much he's played in this game, but Cole Barron now able to get back to his feet and does not require assistance from the training crew. He's going to head to the sideline under his own volition. But with just a little over a minute remaining in the game, his afternoon likely coming to a close, and what a performance from him. First and 10. Fresh set of downs after that big carry from Ben Chumalock, and he'll take the snap yet again. Chumalock feeling the pressure, will run it up the middle this time, and he is the Raiders' leading rusher exactly because of stuff like that. A 12-yard carry for Chumalock. Could feel the heat coming from around the corner and gives himself a brand new set of downs for a second carry in a row. Inside Rams territory now, 1st and 10 from the Langley 51. Chumalock looking skyward, feeling the pressure. No, he'll run it again. This time, he's hauled down. No, he's still on his feet. Finally brought down by number 60, Christopher Moon. But there was a loose ball, a fumble recovered by Langley. And it's Colton DeJong with a big turnover to put the ball back into the hands of the Rams. We'll take a look at this one again, as Ben Chumalock just could not hang on to that ball. Stripped out of his hands by Colton DeJong after the QB continued his forward momentum without the football. And Hunter Norman back out there again for what may be his final drive of the game. 45 seconds remaining on the clock. We're into the final minute of this one. Langley beginning this drive from their own 47. 48 rather. As Norman just takes the knee to run down the clock. And time ticking away here in the final minute of this one. What a wild second half this has been, just loaded with penalty flags. As if I'm not mistaken, over 230 penalty yards against the Rams in this one. Something in that neighborhood. Says our statistician Patrick, looking like Scott Hall today. His stats packs are always too sweet, that Patrick. And that will do it for this one, as the Rams content to just run out the clock in victory formation for the final 45 seconds and bring this one to a merciful end, given the number of flags we saw in the second half today. But what a game, nevertheless. Some big plays in this one. Trey Jones with some passes that we will remember at the end of this season. Terrell Jones with a huge touchdown grab as well. Some big touchdowns all day long. Well, 3 of them anyways, for the Rams in this game. As they pick up their first win on home field so far this season, and a second consecutive win as well after picking up a W last week on the road in Kamloops. 24-13 the final score here in this one. And the Rams will be right back at it here at McLeod Athletic Park next week as well. So if you couldn't join us for this one, please be sure to come out to McLeod Athletic Park next Saturday, when the Langley Rams will host the Valley Huskers, looking for some revenge after Valley were winners back in week 3, 14-7 out in Chilliwack. The Huskers much improved this season, but Langley will look to thread some wins together and go 3 in a row when they host the Huskers right here at beautiful McLeod Athletic Park next Saturday. It's a 4 o'clock kickoff. And if you can't join us, of course, in the building, you can make your way online to watch it. This has been, of course, BCFC TV, the TELUS Game of the Week, brought to you by the BC Lions and eXp Realty 97 Way Home Real Estate Group in Kelowna and the Coast to Coast Real Estate Team in Nanaimo. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to my broadcast partner, Jake Elliott, who had to run to some lacrosse action at the Langley Event Center here this evening, folks. Always a pleasure to bring you Langley Rams action. And until next week, I have been and will continue to be Justin Morissette. Thank you so much for joining us for the Pigskin from McLeod.